Check, check, check. Greetings, greetings. I hope you're doing great. Wherever you are, whenever you are watching this video, checking out this live stream, about to shut down for the day or the night. It's almost 8 o'clock. I am passing through Wisconsin on my way to Minnesota. Decide to drop in and do a live stream checkup, see how everyone is doing out there. Long day, but we got to make use of this nice weather because we know in a couple months it gets tricky in the Midwest and it gets tricky pretty fast. So just wanted to, click that live stream check in, see what's going on. I know YouTube takes about a minute or two to send out the notification, but hey. But just another long day. On my way in, I saw a truck on fire. One of those long nose, I think it was like a Peterbilt or a Kenworth. I saw the truck on fire, man. I pray that the driver made it, but it just did not look good. It was right at the border of Wisconsin and Illinois. They have a Love's. I think it's at mile marker number 3. So I was devastated. I mean, smoke, flames flying from the truck. All you could see is the response team of the ambulance trying to help him out. And I'm worried. I hope he made it. I am pretty much tired for the night. I'm calling it quits, man. Let me drop a link in the live chat just in case if anybody want to hop on to the. Let me see here how this thing works. If anybody want to hop on, let's see. As always, I drop a link for the chat. Drop a comment once you drop in. Let me see who is here with me. I know I see Julio. Hey, Julio, I tried to call you 2 days ago, let you know that I'm good. But my friends, they don't answer me no more when they hit the jackpot, So I have I've gotten used to it when they sign those $100 million deals. But hey, yeah, doing good. Just checking in, I don't make a lot of content, but if it's even to check in and see what's going on with the gang out there, drop a comment what state you're in. And also, I don't know if where I'm at, the connection is great or what. Just type 1 in chat if you can hear me correctly, cleanly, whatever the appropriate English word is. 2, 1. 1 if you can see and hear me correctly. 2 if there's a problem or any glitch. I mean, that would help me out. But yeah, just rolling through Wisconsin on my way up to Minnesota. I got a call today. Dwayne Burton. Hey, what's up, bud? Sean. Oh, the whole gang is in the house. I talked to a Hirschbach recruiter today, and they told me that Hirschbach is still hiring. So this is what they said. They said if you already have your CDL and 6 months experience, you can get with them. Or if you just get your CDL and you have no experience, they can get you a trainer. But they're not doing the CDL school anymore, which is interesting because someone had told me that they were still doing it, but it's like they were leased onto a company, so they will send you to a CDL school. Nuh-uh. Heard it from the horse's mouth. I got my contacts, one or two good recruiters over there that we still have a conversation from time to time. Yo, Sean, you saw how the Jamaican women team did this morning in the World Cup. Huge congratulations. Man, I woke up this morning and got a chance to see the end of that game, and very excited that they held Brazil to a draw and made it. Now they're to the round of 16. So good luck to the Jamaican ladies out there. Sean, how's it going on the road for you? Let's see how it's going. He said, it was a messed up day today. The company booked a load for me to pick up at 6:30 a.m. this morning, but I was already on a load that had to be delivered at 3 p.m. Messed up everything. Yeah, man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, my bro. Sorry to hear that. I actually Got my load switched like 3 times within the past 2 days. Um, I was supposed to originally pick up a load from Lapeer, Michigan, and drop it off somewhere in Rocky Harbor, Wisconsin. That changed. I picked up a load from Port Huron, right on the border of Canada. And this load goes straight up to St. Cloud. So kind of had to change my plans that I had for today as well, right out the gate. But it's trucking. These things happen, you know. We just have to adjust and make the best of our days and don't let it carry over. You know, especially, yeah, I see that. So you're saying, so I'm being forced to drive at night. Man, for the past, I would say for the past 2 weeks, whenever I start out on a Monday, if my load is not ready early on Monday, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I just, my week is thrown off. I'm going to be driving at night. But once I leave out early on a Monday morning, well, my clock, I shut down early Monday night, start early Tuesday, shut down, you know, it goes. But man, so driving at night, is that all through the night or you'll be shutting down closer to like 9 or 10? And that's the problem with night driving, man. You pull into some of the biggest truck stops at 9 or 10 o'clock and there's just no spots. There is a Love's on Interstate 69 in Michigan. I don't know if nobody knows about this Love's. I kid you not. No matter the time of night I pull in there, there's always spots available. But there, most of the TAs, and you know the TA, those have a lot of parking space. And when you pull into those at like 9, 10 o'clock, good luck finding a spot. I know 2 Hirschback recruiters that are nothing but liars. Man, listen, I don't disbelieve you, Dwayne Burton, because my first recruiter at Hirschback, there was a $3,000 sign-on bonus at the time, and he told me I had to ask them to go back and listen to the phone call. You know how they tell you that your phone calls are being recorded or whatever? He told me that the $3,000 bonus, you're going to get $300 every week for 10 weeks. So that's $3,000. When I got to Hirschback, nah, that wasn't the case. They said for the first 3 months, you get 1,000. The second 3 months, you get 1,000. And then the next 3 months, you get 1,000. And I was upset because I don't like being told something and then when I'm trying to pass on what I was told, I'm trying to make out like I'm not telling the truth. But yeah, man, you know, and it's not just Hirschback. A lot of these companies, you have to drill these recruiters and make sure if you're applying for some companies that they send you stuff in writing, whether it's an email, whether it's even a text message in the beginning stage. And then when you do get into the company, whether it be dispatchers or recruiters, I like to communicate through the app. So there is a trail, you know, just to protect me. So sorry about that, Dwayne Burton. Where are you guys hailing from today? What states are you guys in? I must say, OTR, I miss being from east to west. It's just the Midwest lately. Nothing more than Michigan, Illinois, a little bit of Wisconsin, well, a lot of Wisconsin, Minnesota. Very rarely I go to Iowa anymore. And of course, you got to drive across Illinois to go through all of those areas. So I see Julio is hailing from, I'm like, VT? Where is VT? Connecticut. I think Julio is on that Walmart dedicated account up there in New York. Sean is upstate New York heading to Oakland, California. Oh, I didn't know that your company had you running OTR, Sean. I thought it was a smaller company if I remember it, and I thought it was mostly regional. Who you driving for now? There's a small company called Bullcorp Logistics out of Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin. Um, I don't even know how much trucks they have, but it's a pretty small company. Um, Midwest dry van. So what I like with the dry van setup is I pull into a door. I kid you not. 90% of the time, there are some times I pull in a door, 30 minutes loaded, 30, 45 minutes unloaded. So it's in and out. And then as soon as I get done with a load, they're sending me another load. So I'm running, 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 running. So it is possible for me to do, as I would say, close to 2.5, maybe 3,000 miles per week if I'm on a roll. Barring the traffic, when you get to that belt line going around Chicago, man, you have to know the time of the day to drive through these areas. And sometimes you have absolutely no choice but to go through the traffic. The road work, I don't know if they're prepping the roads for the winter, but everywhere is just road work and stuff like that. But for the most part, they do keep me running. I don't know if you have ever heard of them. So Sean said, this is Sean again. I did that company, I think, for a little bit, but I miss OTR. So I'm back now with my SFI truck. Oh, nice. Nice. How is that company? I have heard about SFI and I've heard about CFI. Trying to grow my beard back. I had to clip it. I got to give you guys a joke, man. So I left Hirschbach, and after I quit Hirschbach, I said, you know what? I'm gonna find a job that is in my area. Nothing with trucking. So the first thing that made me know I wasn't gonna last on this job, they asked me to shave my beard. Man, you see how my beard was? I shaved my beard. Went to the factory. It's a factory job. I know it wasn't going to pay me as much as trucking did. But I'm like, okay, you know what? We got a new addition to the family. Let's be home more and stuff like that. So discuss that with the wifey and everything. Get to the factory. What they promised me to do at the factory when I did the interview is not what I was going to do. They give me something else. It was one machine in the factory for 8 hours every night because I was on third shift. I press one button and I look at the machine go, picks up the part, drop off the part. I press that one button again. Can you imagine doing that for 8 hours? And I'm standing on my feet. Man, I'm telling you. One night I go in, I punch in, and the guy who was training me how to use this machine, they call it data entry or whatever. He was kind of like, whatever, didn't care much. I went in one night and I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. So pick up my CDL and here I am. I mean, I have my experience and stuff like that. And this is why you want to keep your CDL clean. And this is why, you try not to burn bridges or, it wasn't hard for me to get a job. It's fair. So far, I am at Landstar. Ah, you're with your SFI truck at Landstar. So that's basically owner-operator. Interesting. Well, good luck, man. I wish you all the best, and I hope that it works out for you. Landstar, I know they only do owner-operator. So if I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, I don't know. But best of luck. Hirschbach is good, but those weekly payments are expensive. Yeah, I never I looked into the leasing at Hirschbach. I never got into it. What what was the deal breaker for me with the lease is that for you to make money leasing a Hirschback, you have to be over the road, or you got to be on an account that pays you good money for you to make that truck payment, take out all the expenses, and still see something worth driving for. I was on a dedicated account and I was not prepared to go OTR, so I wasn't going to do lease on a dedicated account. But the company that I work for now, I had to get my LLC. So that company pays my LLC. And then I will be on 1099. So I got to do all that whole tax situation next year. But it gives me an opportunity to learn the business side of it. And so far it's going okay. So far it's going okay. But yeah, never got with the lease. I always get positive feedback from drivers on the lease system at Hirschback. I mean, I don't think they have any reason to lie, but it's trucking. And a lot of people, I find that a lot of people lie for no reason. A lot of people lie for no reason, man. And I don't get it. I spoke to this driver once and I just knew he was full of it, you know. He kept telling me that every week he takes home, and this has been a lease operator, anywhere between $3,500 to $4,000 on a lease at a mega carrier. Now, I don't know the numbers. I don't know how it works, but that just sounds like he was blowing some smoke. Didn't sound right to me. And I speak to quite a few lease operators over there, and some of them are doing good. If you have your numbers in order and you're willing to do the miles and stay out, you will be okay. You will be okay. Sean, you're not working with the Russians, right? No, this is not a Russian company. This is not a Russian company. I think you were the one that had that Russian experience out of where's this place out of Chicago? Man, Sean, you're killing me. But hey, wherever you gotta get it in, you gotta get it in, man. No, Sean, I gotta ask. Well, you did not get. Did you get your CDL through Hirschback? No, you were with Prime Inc. first, and then you came over, if I remember correctly. Because I have been speaking with a few, what would I say, past drivers who they've been telling me that a lot of people from their class are not with the company anymore. They left. Some people did not even finish the whole training aspect of it. So I wanted to ask you how many people from your classes still with the company, but you already had your okay. You already had your CDL through Prime Inc. Oh, good, good. Almost went to Hirschback. Yeah. Do you miss life at Prime Inc. Sean? Prime is a good company, man. You know, and someone was asking me about rail transportation recently. I've never worked there, but from doing research, they seem okay. I think Prime Inc. is better. Nothing like pulling into that yard down there in Springfield, Missouri. But one thing with Prime Inc., when you pull into that yard, whether you're going inbound or heading outbound, you could spend anywhere to half an hour to an hour in line just waiting to get your trucks inspected. But they are going to inspect that truck. They are going to inspect that truck. Oh, you do miss Prime, except for the reefer, because reefer is tough. Yeah, no joke. No joke. I'm doing the driver and side of it. Not only do I get to sleep in peace and quiet at night because I don't have that reefer running, Um, it's a little bit less hassle than doing the refrigerated. Um, no, I must say, when you're driving reefer, after a while, that noise is like nothing to you, you know. But yeah, dry van, you're in and you're out. A lot of times I notice what I'm transporting is it's either car parts. The other day I took some farm equipment, like some what do you call them, ATV or something like that. Went to a place in Michigan, picked up like four of those things, and I was in and out in no time. Went to drop them off the same. But some of these reefer customers, man, they'll have you there for 3, sometimes even 4 hours. I don't know what they're putting into them damn trucks. Those paper loads, yes, those paper loads, those little scraps of paper. I've taken a few of those. And a lot of times I'm in between foundries. So I'll take a load of car parts to a foundry, and coming out from that foundry to another one, all I'm taking out is just empty, what they call dunnage. 1 second. Recycling plants, West Rock stinks. Ooh, I don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever been to one of those. I don't know if you ever heard of a foundry called Grady's. They are they're in Minnesota, they're in Wisconsin. I've been running a lot of loads for those guys. Let me see who I got here in the waiting room. Greetings.
Greetings. Wagwan, brethren.
Hey, Wagwan man. I hope you're doing great. Wherever you are, whenever you are.
Doing pretty good. I'm coming at you live from Radio City Music Hall.
Live from where?
Radio City Music Hall, New York City.
Oh, New York City.
Yeah.
Well, you live in New York, right? So
I'm upstate New York, yeah.
so are you on the job right now, or your home time?
I am on the job.
Ah, okay. So what's the name of the account that you're still at Hirschbach? What's the name of the account that you're on?
Extreme Entertainment Division.
The Extreme Entertainment Division. So what is that division all about?
The Extreme Entertainment Division, we transport artists and their equipment.
Ah, nice. So artists that are on tour?
Yeah.
Nice, man. So how are you liking it so far? What is it like? Have you met, like, Taylor Swift?
Oh no! I wish I was one of her drivers right now. Did you hear? She just gave $100,000
Yeah,
bonus for
I
her.
was gonna say,
I was
hey,
like, holy crap! I wish I was on her tour right now. Holy
man,
smokes!
I could use a piece of that cake.
Right? My house would be paid off.
My goodness, bro. So you got like band equipment in the back of your truck. You pull up to like a stadium. How does that work?
Yeah, pretty much so. Um, Sometimes we just pull up just to a stage. Sometimes it's a venue like this where they have to load all the equipment in. But for the most part, I don't touch anything for the most part. Literally, I pull up, they unload, they load, and my job is to get the equipment there safely. So, like normally, right now, I'd be just waking up, um, which quite literally, that's why it took me a minute to get on. Uh, and then I stay up all night. So today we're going to be here for 2 days, so we don't leave till tomorrow.
Okay.
So when they load up tomorrow night, as soon as they load me up, I hightail it for the next location, and I
Uh,
always get there before their buses do to be able to unload the equipment.
so do you know the name of the artist that you are working with, or
Oh yeah, I do.
Who you got this time?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say
Ah,
because of
fancy,
security purposes.
fancy. I mean, we're not going to come kidnap them or anything, you know.
Right,
I
but
mean,
I'm still,
I'm like, we might.
security purposes, but that
No,
doesn't mean
no,
somebody won't
no.
try to break into the truck,
And you're new on this account. I don't want you to mess that up, bro. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a good gig. I like it a lot.
That's nice. So if I was a driver for Hirschback and I wanted to get on an account like that, how could I get on an account like that? And
Uh,
what does the account requires or consist of?
um, so it's 99% night driving. So you have to be comfortable driving at night. If you wanted to get on it, you'd have to talk to your DM, and they would have to talk to the Extreme Entertainment Division and put you on a
Okay.
wait list. There is a
Okay.
wait list. I got bumped to the wait list because I used to drive private tour bus for artists before this. So I kind of got bumped a little ahead because my credentials, basically, I've already worked with them. So there's less vetting for them to do. They just kind of check to say, oh, yes, you did work for this company. And yes, you did used to do this. So they kind of vetted me a little bit. I told them, hey, this is what I know of the experience because I used to drive the private tour buses. And they pretty much had a slot and said, okay, we're going to stick you with this artist. We need you to go get your black truck. I got a black trailer, and then go from there.
That's nice.
I don't know if I can post a picture or not for you.
Maybe some way, somehow. So
Yeah, it
well,
won't let
that's
me
good.
post a picture
But
to
I
you.
think that's one of the better paying accounts at Hirschback though.
It's daily pay. It's not mileage pay.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Daily
So
pay,
I
a
could
lot of
be,
night driving.
yeah. So basically, kind of how the pay works is I get $200 a day
Okay.
as my base pay. If I go over 500 miles in any day, I get what's called overdrive pay. That's an extra 200, 250 or something like that. I forget exactly.
For the
Um,
day?
for the day.
Okay.
That's only if I'm required to do over 500. If say there's 700 miles and they give me 2 to 3 days to get there, then you still only get the daily pay.
Okay.
So like I had a drive that I had to go from Maryland all the way to West Virginia, and then from West Virginia to Kentucky. West Virginia to Kentucky was a 600-mile run, and that was required in one night. I had to get there. That was a 9.5 hour, almost 10-hour drive. So I got overdrive pay for that.
Ah, nice. Well, that
Um,
does come in handy. That sounds good, man. Congratulations. I wish
yeah,
you all the best on that. So you are
and
no
then
longer on that
because
Lactalis. What was that? Team driving over the road.
correct, that account did pay good, but unfortunately, it wasn't picking up the miles that we thought it would. Um, so the potential to make money is there on those long haul accounts like that, but it really depends on the loads. And I know Lactalis was slow for quite some time because they had some issues they had to deal with, so we weren't not
Yeah.
getting the miles that we could have been getting.
Right.
So both me and my teammate both switched over to the Walmart account out of Conklin, New York at that time.
Okay.
That account pays pretty darn good. That's a minimum 1550 a week, but I was averaging about 18, a little over 18 on that account.
Okay.
So
Which is pretty much the same money you were making on the Lactalis account, and you were home at least once a
every
week.
week, right?
That's
So
crazy. That's crazy. That's
right,
good though.
yeah. And so I was happy with that. The fact that I was able to get home every week. My wife was definitely happy.
Yep.
But now that I'm on this account, I am with the artist until they're done with their portion of the tour for the U.S.
Oh, so how
Yeah,
long
so
that could take anywhere? I mean, you could be out for what, like a month, 2 months?
I will be out until October, the middle of October.
Holy shit! What? So we're in August, September. You're going to be out for like 3 months?
Yeah.
Man, will you be okay?
Oh, I'll
I'm
be
sure
fine.
you should know what the account. I didn't know Hirschback had something like that. That 3 months.
Yeah. Yep. And then once she comes back, the only reason why I get to go home is because she's going to Australia and New Zealand for a month,
Oh, and you can't drive there.
and I can't drive there. And then when they come back, I have to go and um, pick right back up with them. So they'll be doing another tour that goes uh, down in Florida and touring the U.S. some more. So I'll be right back with them.
It must feel like a big shot taking artists around. And then if you want to sleep in a hotel and don't sleep in the truck, you have that option as well. They provide you with that option on this account.
Yes and no. So pretty much, I get an additional non-taxable reimbursement as a hotel buyout for sleeping in my truck. So I make extra money to sleep in my truck. If I want to go to a hotel, that's on me.
Okay.
So I mean, they'll pay for it, but I'll lose my hotel reimbursement.
Right, right. That's really 3 months out. Man,
Yeah.
whew, I don't know if I could be away from that thing that long. I don't
There's
know. I don't know.
there are some drivers on this account that they are out for 9 months straight.
Nine out for 9 months straight. So on that account, when you're out for that long, how much home time do you get when the artist that you're taking around is finished touring and stuff? How much time do you get off?
Pretty much whatever you want. If you want to take a month off, they'll let you, but you do not get paid while you are home.
Ah,
So that's kind of the pluses and negatives of it.
yeah. But I mean, you get to see
I
the
have it
artist.
worked out. I have it worked out with my previous account that I'm gonna basically what's doing. It's called rubber banding. I'm gonna go out with the artist. When I come back, I'll be a standby, quote unquote, standby driver
Okay.
for that account, and basically it'll be if another truck breaks down, if they have a load that needs to be recovered, anything like that, they send me out to do that.
Wow. And what
So
is this
while
account
so
called?
while
What is it called?
Extreme Entertainment.
Extreme Entertainment with Hirschback. Man, Hirschback 3 months out, man. That's quite the challenge. It's gonna be tough, but I know if anybody can do it, you can do it, and you have wanted to be on this account for quite some time.
Hey, I've already done 8 weeks out, so that's 2 months. So what's
Yeah,
another couple of weeks?
yeah,
So
yeah, man. I mean, if you discuss it with family and they understand, and you know, it gives you the
right.
opportunity to you're making more. I think that's the highest paid account there, honestly, because I don't hear of a
For a
setup
solo, for a
for a
solo,
solo. Okay.
the teams can make upwards of $3,000 a week if they get the miles
If they get the mile.
as company.
Sometimes I wonder if dispatch messes with you and don't give you the miles where they know, hey, all right, so I see this team is about to make a certain amount over the minimum guarantee, so let's slow them down a minute. Sometimes I wonder about that because
Well,
most of the time,
that's the other reason why we left the Lactalis account because our planner decided to call me and act like the account manager.
right.
There you go.
There we go. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Um, so our planner had called acting like the account manager. So of course, I was complaining about some of the loads because they had us taking these really short hauls that weren't worth it for a team because they were solo loads. So of course, I mentioned that I'm like, I kind of don't see the logic in this. I said they're spending more money to send a team to do this than if they were to just give it to a solo person. I said the
Exactly.
logic there just doesn't make sense to me. Well, after they did that, all of a sudden we started getting the bare minimums. And it stayed that way even after I complained to my DM and told them, hey, this is kind of what's going on. And they were like, oh, no, that's not what's going on. But the truth of the matter is, we were the most senior drivers on that account. Everybody else had
That's
already
what I
quit
don't
that
like.
account.
Yeah, I was one of the most senior drivers on my account up there in St. Cloud. They had some guys that came over from
Don't get
Kenosha,
me
I
wrong,
think.
it's not all of the planners that are like that. It's just few small handful of them here and there, because I know guys that are super happy with their accounts. Um, their planners are great to them. They're like right before we left that account, uh, I know a couple of guys they were talking about literally they just played ping pong back and forth between Buffalo and Nampa. They didn't do all these little offshoot things that we were doing. Nothing. They just back and forth, back and
And I
forth, and
mean,
they were making
with this weather, those are the runs that you want.
right
You know
if
what
they
I
give
mean?
you the
It's warm
miles.
weather. Yeah, no, it's in the winter time, and this was a bit challenging for me. In the winter time, I used to run a lot between North Dakota and St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Yeah,
And
North
then,
Dakota is not a place to be driving in the winter.
man, I'm telling you, and some of the times I go out there and on my way back, it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. They don't clean the roads. It's ice. It's dangerous. Now, when the weather
Hmm.
starts to clear up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start running some loads out there. Now I start to get loads going into some tight ass places in Minneapolis, St. Paul. This is in the city of Minnesota. At one point, I had to turn in my sleeper and take a day cab that Hirschbach had because my truck was too big to get into these places.
Yeah, some of those places that they send us to, like we had to do a delivery in Chicago that right before I had picked up my teammate, that was one of the loads they sent me to get me close to pick him up. And I was delivering to a place that it was literally a single lane road, and you had to back into a dock inside a building, which it was just tall enough and just wide enough for your truck. So if you didn't get your trailer perfect,
It gave me a hard time. There's this one place called Flambeau in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Man, I kid you not.
ooh, it
They
was
just
designed
have
for a
like,
box truck. It was
man,
designed for a box truck. It was not designed for tractor
bro,
trailers.
they have a little piece of like a dead end hill, and you have to turn, and you're looking over at it. If you don't know what you're doing, or if and the docks is so close, man.
Yeah, that's why I say they're designed for box trucks. They are not designed for tractor trailer. A lot of these places.
Right. But how did you
Um,
like that Walmart account? What was it? Distribution centers a lot. Did you do?
so that account out of Conklin, what that was, it's labeled as Walmart because they own it. But
Okay,
it's a Walmart distribution center, and you haul to the Sam's Club stores. So you could have 2 to 3 stops a day or a load, and then it's touch free except for the fact that you do have to collect all the stickers off the pallets to
okay,
keep track of what store took what, because and each sticker has a label of, okay, this goes to this store, this one goes to this store. They also give you a load map to say, okay, these are where these pallets should be, so you're able to track. And then once you take all those stickers, each store would get their portion of the load, and then you seal back up. You would have to move the bulkheads because it's a multi-zone trailer. So you'd
okay.
have fresh, you'd have frozen.
Ah, so
So
it's close to that what I used to do because on my account that I did, it was AWG. It was assorted wholesale groceries. I had a little POD device that I had to scan each pallet
yeah,
and
see, we
type
didn't have
in.
that.
Okay,
Yeah, we didn't have any of that. We just had stickers, and when you got back, you had to turn in your paperwork. So with that account, I was like, okay, you know what? I recommend taking a picture of your paperwork before you send it in, so
okay,
that way, if they say anything's missing, you have it. Because otherwise, they have to go chase it down because you have to turn it back into the Walmart DC.
okay.
So
Someone said here, what do you, let me just answer this real quick. What do you think about leasing with Swift and GP Transco? I know nothing about those companies. I would say do your research, but when it comes to Swift, from what I've heard, you take your chances. I've seen that GP. I'm at a truck stop right now. I'm at a pilot. I do see that GP Transco trucks all over. If you have a question about Hirschbach lease, I might could give you some idea. Is it Almighty Bizzle? But I don't have much experience with those guys.
yeah,
But
I would highly recommend doing your research for
yeah,
everything, and obviously make the best decision that's for you and your family. Don't take too many else's. Don't take anybody else's opinion for a grain of salt. Do your research and find out what's going
Exactly.
to work for you.
So how did that Walmart account? What were the states that they run to? Was it like Pennsylvania, Maine?
Yeah, so basically they ran the Northeast, and their territory basically was from Maryland north, from Ohio east, with the exception of Massachusetts. They didn't deliver anywhere in Massachusetts. So they delivered New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Rhode Island.
Oh, so on any given day you could be doing somewhere between 400 to 500 miles, pretty much. So you're getting the miles.
Yeah, the longest run you would see is when they send you up to Maine.
Okay.
They did that to me once. They've done it to my old teammate Elvis. He's been up there several times.
I know Julio. Julio, I don't know if he's still in the chat. I know he's on that Walmart account. So they say that whenever you're not on this extreme account where you're transporting the artist for their tour, if you're
I'll
not
be a
working, you
standby
can go back
slash
to your
recovery
Walmart
driver.
dedicated and
Yeah, typically that isn't the case though. Typically, when you do the extreme account, they will send you OTR loads when you're not with an artist.
okay.
So as you know, standard OTR just pays the 50 cents per mile, whatever, blah blah blah. Um, so yes, I personally had it worked out because I talked to both ends and I'm like, hey, listen, I really like this account. These guys really like me. I'm no nonsense. I get my stuff
Oh,
done.
there's Julio. Julio said yes, he's still on that Walmart dedicated. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's good that
it's a
they
really good account. It
it
really
is.
is.
I hear good things about them. I spoke with Elvis the other day and I said, man, I kept telling him, you're going to like this account, bro. You're going to like this account because I talked to Julio and I talked to, can't remember this other guy name, but another driver that's on the account. And they said it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely good pay. With that 1550 minimum, it really makes it nice for a solo driver because that's for the solo drive. That's probably one of the highest accounts you're going to get for solo.
Okay.
Yes, you can get onto an account that pays 1650, but those are extremely rare and hard to find. Most
Or
accounts pay.
you might have to be out 2 weeks at a time too.
Well, yeah. With this Walmart account, you're guaranteed a home time every single week.
Okay.
You're
Is it a
guaranteed a 34-hour reset.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is it a 34-hour reset, or is it a case
So
where
basically, what it is it's 48 hours. Because say you tell them your preference, because they ask you what your preference for the day of the week that you want to go home. You still have to submit your home time. But basically, so I would always tell them my preference is Wednesdays. So I would go home Tuesday after I got back from dropping my loads off. I would go home Tuesday. The teal blue truck, yeah. So I would
yeah,
go
they
home
look good. Those
Tuesday.
trucks look nice. Those truck looks nice. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so I would go home Tuesday. I'd be home for the entire 24-hour span of Wednesday, and then I'd come back out Thursday about mid-afternoon. Because a lot of the times the loads aren't ready until like 11 a.m. Noon, and then they send you out because the stores don't accept deliveries before 3 a.m. and then or 3 p.m. and then there's some
Oh, I
stores
was
that
gonna
don't
say
accept it.
before 3 a.m. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That
3
remind me of
p.m.
some. That remind me of some
and
Prime
then
Ink days when I was over the road.
and then some of the stores don't accept before 6 p.m. So they usually give you a heads up if the store doesn't accept the load before 6, and they'll tell you to
Okay.
plan accordingly. But usually I would start my day and I would get back to Binghamton, to the Loves in Binghamton, right around 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And then
Okay.
I'd get my 10-hour reset, start back out at 10 o'clock in the
Now,
morning.
do you see your dispatch manager at all, or it's just phone?
They are on site. They
Oh,
are on site at
just
the
like
distribution center, and there's
just like that.
so they actually have two different kind of teams
Okay.
of the DMs that do it. So they have 4 days on, 4 days off, 12-hour shifts. So I know, if it's the one dispatch manager and he works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he'll have the next 4 days off, and it'll be a the other daytime manager. So there's two daytime managers and there's two nighttime managers, and they are in sync with each other. So the one when they're working the day, the other works the night, and then when the other team works days and nights. So you always know who you're able to get a hold of.
Not bad.
And unlike when I was on Lactalis, where it was you call a general line and they forward you into a loop to whoever
Right.
answers, these guys, I had their direct numbers.
That's good.
So if they were on duty, I could call them direct, and I wouldn't get stuck in a loop to be answered by somebody who has no clue about the account.
And it's in New York, so they keep you close to home. I like that setup. I got a question here. I don't know if you want to take this one. I'll let you give it a shot. Leroy Berry says, "Bless up, bro. Just got my CDL and at orientation with Total Transportation. What's your best advice for a rookie?"
Goal: get out and look. I will tell you, I have seen, and I actually had somebody do this. You get those senior drivers that start getting lax on it, and I had somebody they were blindside backing and smacked into my truck. Yeah,
That's not good.
so always, even if you don't think you need to get out,
Yep,
just
absolutely.
do it anyway. Do it anyway. Just make sure that you are fully aware of your surroundings.
My advice that I would give, it's quite a few. There's so much, man. I should probably do a video on it. What I would
Stay
say
off your
is,
phone.
yep, stay off your phone. One thing that was very tricky for me as a new driver, when I go pick up a trailer, I normally try to get the trailer out the slot and then I slide the tandems. And I rubbed the trailer once. This was like my first week in trucking. I went solo. When I got off my trainer's truck, and ever since then, whenever you go to pick up a trailer, pull forward, go slide your tandems before you try to move. Because what you got to remember, the trailer doesn't turn the same way when those tandems are all the way to the back.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of off tracking.
Now it's like second nature for me because I've been trucking for a while. But earlier in my career, I realized that I normally slide my tandems and then move. But that one time,
it's also a lot easier because you're already still straight. If you're just pulling up, you're still straight, so it's a lot easier to slide your tandems. There's times where the space is so tight you have to turn, and then you have to try sliding your tandems while your truck's at an angle with your trailer, and that's not as easy.
Yep.
So it's definitely, that's a good idea.
Another thing I would say is a tip, is a thing called Google Earth. For rookie drivers, this is very good because you can use it to pull up the actual location that you're going to. You can see landmarks. You can see where the docks are. You can see where you're going to enter, all that stuff. So if you're really new and, you know, like us more seasoned driver, I wouldn't call myself a veteran by any means, but let's say a more seasoned driver. Now we just go to a location, we swing in, we swing out, we're out. When you are a rookie driver, you want to know how to enter certain places, what your setup is going to be like before you even get there, because your backing is not going to be like on point the first month. You know what I mean?
And even the first year, your backing may still be
Google Earth.
Needing a little work.
Earth will help you.
Right. And I was actually going to say, that's the other thing I recommend is trip plan.
Plan, yep.
Okay, I'm going to this location. I have this truck stop, and this truck stop. This is where I'm going to take my break. This is where I'm going to do this. This is where I'm going to do that. Because it makes it so much easier. As my old teammate found out, he used to do it to where he would go until he got tired, then he'd take his break. And he found out there's times to where there's stretches that you can't stop and take a break.
Yep. See, so a guy said trucker path. A guy said, Julio said, trucker path. Yep. That's a good one. That will let you know if some truck stops have parking, stuff like that. Another thing that I would say is key because let's see, you're in orientation. Um, you have your trainer with you. Ask a lot of questions before you go test out to get your CDL. Practice your pre-trip. Practice that pre-trip is very important, especially the in-cap.
And even if you're at just orientation with a trainer, like when I was with Michelle, I,
Yes.
if there's something that you are unsure of, whether it's a backing procedure or um, how to approach something. Okay, well, how do I find out how to get into this place? If there's anything that you have to question, ask your trainer. They are seasoned. They typically know how to approach whatever question you have. And I'll tell you, it may feel stupid or silly asking the question. Don't be afraid to ask it. There is definitely, like, even with my skills walking in with Vishal, there were still questions I had for him.
Yep.
So don't be afraid to ask questions.
And you were one of the fastest student I ever had graduated. No offense, Julio. Hey, no offense, Julio. But Chris, but Julio got done in 3 weeks too, I think. But Chris got done in 3 weeks. And then when I did your evaluation, the next morning they
I
called
was
me
in a
and said,
truck.
they said, hey, we have a truck for Chris in Kansas City at the terminal. And I'm like, what? I was heading home. They're like, yeah, drop him at a hotel. We'll get him a rental car. Boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, I was like, what the heck? That was
Yeah,
fast.
I mean,
So,
it also came. It also helped coming with experience with the CDL to begin with.
yep. Yeah, you were pretty good, pretty easy because you were used to handling a big vehicle. So, Sean said properly mounted and secure. Yes, you will hear that a lot. Not bent, broken, or cracked. You will also hear that a lot. None missing. But
Right.
if you're in orientation, just pay attention, man. Watch a lot of YouTube videos because different people might explain things differently. And if you find a channel, it doesn't have to be my channel. If you find a channel that explains it, that you get it, work with them. Be respectful to your trainer. If they're showing you something, say, hey, I understand what you're saying, but what can we try it this way? Because a lot of times when you get a trainer, I realize people go, oh, I need another trainer. It's just communication. It's that barrier in the beginning where, you know what I mean? If you guys just communicate, like sometimes I will get out the truck and I'll say, Chris, go ahead, do your backing. I'm going to just make sure you don't hit anything. Boom, boom, boom. I see that you got it. If I'm saying, hey, do this or do that, and you're like, hey, I learned this way or that way, I'm like, let's try it your way. Let's see. But not everybody is like that. So,
Right.
but ask questions. Ask questions.
There's definitely. I mean, when you're new, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that you're gonna be unsure of.
Yep, he said.
There's a lot of things that you're gonna pull up and you're gonna be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Um, Even with the experience that I had when I pulled up to that place in Chicago, I
Uh-huh.
was like, how the freaking heck am I going to approach this? And
You
I
know
had to
what's
sit,
another
stop, and
good,
think.
he said, I'm Jamaican also. Respect for the advice. Yeah, man, anytime, respect. Another thing is when you're going to do your CDL test, make sure that you use the pull-ups that you have and the get out and looks that you have available to you. Don't use more than what you have, but no matter how much you practice in training, don't get too much of a know-it-all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Use
and
your
that's
get
the
out
other
and
thing.
look before you go in and honk your horn and say, I've completed my test. If you have one get out and look left, doesn't hurt to use it.
Yeah, and the other thing is too is proper evaluation. If you're using your get out and look, walk around the entire truck. Don't just hop out the door and look down the side of the truck.
Yeah.
Walk around the truck. Get to know your location. Get to know exactly where you are and what you need to do before you get back in that truck. Because if you just open your door and look, it counts as a get out and look.
Yeah, even on the driving test too. When you stop at an intersection, lean forward and look left and right. Make sure that instructor sees that you look, because you could probably do this, and they probably got you a pointer to use that lean forward, especially at a four-way intersection. But you will be okay. You'll be okay, man. It's as long as you stick to your guns and training and pay attention, you should be okay.
Yeah, and after you pass it and you already have your CDL, use as many as you need. Pull-ups, get out and looks, whatever. Don't be afraid of looking silly, because there's places that I have to get out 7, 8, 9 times, 10 times just to make sure, because they're so tight. And it's better to get out and look and make sure you're not hitting anything than to hit something and then have to pay the consequences for that.
Yeah.
So it's, you may feel silly getting out and looking 80 times, but it's better to be safe than to be sorry.
Yep. And as I always tell Chris, signal
early.
Julio can tell you too. Hey, signal early, signal early. I always say that, because when you signal early, you let the car behind you know what you're doing. If you're going to change lane, obviously you let the car in the next lane know what you're going to be doing. And if the person in front of you is looking in their rear view mirrors, they also know what you're, so you're using your turn signals to communicate. The earlier you do it, now, if you're going to take an exit, you don't want to put on your signal 1 mile before the exit, but you know what I mean? But signal early.
Right. Definitely. And the best, especially in congested cities, Chicago, New York, any of those kind of cities, you definitely want to signal early, because as soon as you turn that turn signal on, I almost guarantee you're going to have somebody slam on their gas and whip right by you, even though you had plenty of clearance to get by them. I almost guarantee that that's going to happen. It's happened to me almost every time in a congested city.
Yep. Sean just asked me what kind of truck I'm driving. I told him 2020. Don Hart says, hi, Chris. I think Don knows you.
I do know Don. We were in the same class together.
Okay. Now, is Don still with Hirschbach, or did Don?
I have no idea. That would be a question for Don.
Now, this is the man of the moment, Roman.
What's going on, man?
Hey, it's going good, my brother. How are you?
Tired.
Are you on that Wal-Mart dedicated?
Yes, sir.
So it's Chris. He just left. How's it going, man?
Great. Really great.
Nice.
What's going on with you?
I'm doing good. I'm on a Midwest regional account. So,
sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay, Chris. A lot of Michigan.
What's up, Chris?
How you doing, man?
Good, man.
No, did you guys run into each other on that Walmart account up there?
No.
No.
Nope.
Oh, man.
I'm always in Maine, so.
Right.
3 times a week.
Okay.
Those 2 stores are something else, man.
I love them.
Every time I've been in and out of them, it was literally in and out. I pull up 20 minutes later, I'm leaving.
Yep. Real quick.
Oh, Dawn says she's not with Hirschbach anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Was Dawn in your class too, Ramen?
She started off in his, I think, right? Didn't she, Chris?
She started in mine, and then she went to yours for an extra week.
Yeah. So she left Hirschbach, huh?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I'm the only one left from my class.
Man.
Oh,
wow. Did a lot of people from your class leave?
Yeah, I think I'm the only one. Even the couple that I thought was going to stick around a while, they left. They're starting their own moving company.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I always tell people, have a plan and execute your plan. If your plan is not to stay, a lot of people, though, they leave because they're impatient,
Yeah.
I think
that's
a
lot of people, they do their 13 weeks, and once they do their 13 weeks, and they're like, I don't know them anymore.
13 weeks? A lot of people don't even make it to the 13 weeks.
Right?
Nope. Nope.
Mhm.
Man, it's good to hear from you, Ramen, man. Ramen
Same
always
here.
check. You guys both always check in with me if you don't see me on YouTube. Be
Yep.
like, hey, how's it going? You know. So I
Try to
thank you
see how
guys for
life's
that. I appreciate
try to
it.
see how life's treating you, man. We got, and that's the other thing too. Look out for each other.
Yeah,
Yep.
you have
Look
to.
out for each other. Even if
Yeah.
you're not with the company anymore, I still check in with everybody that was in my class.
I
And
do. I do. I do check
if
in
I
with
have
people
if
sometimes.
I have the contact info for people that even people that weren't in my class, if I have their contact info, I check in with them and say, hey, how's
Yep.
how's it going out there? Because
Yes,
let me
sir.
tell you, it definitely, if you don't have people to talk to, it could take a toll on your mental state. So check in with people and look out for each other.
There's a couple guys in my class. We talk almost all day.
That's
Yep.
nice. Now, are you guys hearing any noise in the background? I just had to turn on my thing to have it running.
Nah, I don't hear
I
anything.
can't hear nothing.
That's good.
I don't know if you can hear the background for me. I'm in the building with the freaking concert going on. So
Yeah. So Chris is on an account where he's transporting artists on tour around. So he's big
Really?
time now.
You got black truck?
oh yeah,
That's why.
Black Freightliner. They only
Yeah,
run
that's
Black
why.
Freightliners. Oh no! I was in a silver truck. They pulled me out of that and put me in a black truck.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. I just didn't know that you have to be out for 3 months, like before you get home time. That sounds scary,
Well,
but
it depends on the artist, because if they're only doing a 6 week tour, you're out for 6 weeks. If they're out for 3 months, you're out for 3 months. If they're out for 9 months on tour, you're out for 9 months on tour.
Who you out with now?
What's that?
What artist you out with now?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
he's not allowed to say. He says, I'm trying to get some light in here. I left all my
Security issues.
lighting
We don't.
equipment at home.
Right. Security issues. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. So
Well, that sounds
I
like
mean-
something like Beyonce or something like that.
I think it's
no,
I think
even the
it's,
smaller artists, it's because of the equipment, the value, all that kind of stuff.
hey, I think he's with Taylor Swift and he got some of that money, but he's trying not to let
I
us know.
wish. I wish. Oh my Lord, I wish. But those are all Swift drivers because her dad owns Swift.
Oh, that's
Speaking
Yeah.
of speaking of Swift, word has it Swift is buying Hirschbach.
I hear that. I heard that like 6 companies are trying to
Yep.
come together. You hear that? Is that true? Oh, well, did you hear that?
My trainer, who is real good friends with Brad, the CEO, he left Hirschbach because of this.
Oh.
Him
See,
and
I
Tim
don't
on the
take
trainers
anything
left.
to. Yeah, see, I don't take anything to heart until it's official.
Well, Brad
rumors
calls him when he's home, and Brad actually calls his house and talks to him.
Oh.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah, because what I heard is that I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory because people talk crazy, but someone was telling me that JB Hunt is getting some awards and loads, and the companies are trying to come together. I think it's one of those alien kind of stories. I don't know.
Alien stories.
I don't know, but they're like 4 or 5 companies are about to come together. So
But then
I'm not gonna
last
lie,
week,
it wouldn't surprise me in our current environment.
last week my DM slipped up and kind of verified it.
okay. So what happens to Hirschbach drivers at that point, or what? It's
I guess
just
they
like
get absorbed
It might just
into
be like
Swift,
the
I guess.
JCT. It might just be like the JCT stuff, though. Where
just
you might
like they did
exactly.
with John
operating.
Krishner.
Yep.
Someone was saying, Don said, I was wanting to haul the concert line too.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
that. I have the money.
That's the money's decent on it. I can't say it's bad. But like I said, there is definitely a wait list for that account.
Right.
You might be driving a little while before you get the chance to be on that account. The only reason why I got bumped up, like I said, is because I had direct relative experience. I used to drive the private tour buses. So
okay.
I had direct relative experience. I'm very familiar with the industry. So it kind of gave me a leg up getting in quicker than most people.
Right.
And the fact that I already had that understanding, and basically what happened was when they called me to vet me, I basically turned around and told him what the experience was like and stuff like that. I said, I know this industry very well. I've been in it for several years. I drove private tour bus for almost 7 years.
Oh,
So
okay.
I know the industry.
So
Right.
that's why you didn't want to listen to your trainer, because you drove private buses for 7 years.
Hey, I listened to my trainer.
This guy, Ramen, this guy, man, I tell you, he's a work. Oh my Lord. Nah, he was good. He's good. He's good.
Yeah, I was so bad he had to kick me out of his truck in 3 weeks.
You see? No.
He says, "Get out of my truck. I don't need to teach you nothing."
No, all my students say I kick them out my truck, but it's not kicking you out. It's you're here to make money. So the faster you get off the truck, that's $600 per week. BS. I
Yep.
mean, it is what it is. But the sooner
Yep.
you get off the truck, the sooner you're out there making some money. You know.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, the reason why I say it is because you know how the mama bird kicks the birds out of the nest so that they learn to fly on their own.
Yep. Gotta learn.
Hey, you gotta fly. My trainer that I had at Prime Inc., he always get out the truck and back up the truck for me. When it was time for me to get off his truck, I could not back that truck up properly.
Really?
And I just got off because it was time to get off and I had to learn how to swim. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I became a trainer. I tried to not let people get the experience that I got.
Hmm.
So I give my students a lot of backing time. A lot, as much as I can.
Right.
As much as I can, man. But I
Especially
want
at
to
them
thank
truck
I want
stops
to
you
thank
would park
both
me
you
at.
guys, because also if you're new to the channel, guys, in the chat, hit that subscribe button or smash the like button, or that helps the algorithm. But you guys have been supporting me since day one, man.
Always, brother. Always.
But very
Always.
few people reveal the true life of the trucking industry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the other thing too, is a lot of
Yeah.
people come into it not knowing what to expect. They don't understand you live in your truck.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And even when you get a trainer, it's two of you guys in that small space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when you're
Yep.
with a teammate, that's even you got to be family. You got to be like
It's got
family.
to be
'cause-
family. It's got to be family.
Mhm.
So how are you liking that Walmart account? And what is the problem you see with it, Ramen?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's smooth. Everybody loves it.
Something that really bothers me is it's a lot of guys trying to get Bangor and Augusta runs now. And I told DM, that's mine. Here, that's mine.
Hey, I'm the senior guy
Right.
in this round.
Yeah.
Yeah, that run is a pretty
I'm
sweet
always
run.
I'm always 2 hours early to each stop. Nobody else does that.
Hey,
If
I
it's
did
not
it.
broken, don't fix
But
it.
I only did that trip once. They only sent me up to Maine once.
Only one time?
But I was, yeah, I was only on the account for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's why I didn't see you.
Right. But they sent me up there, and I'm the same way. I literally as soon as I get that load, half-hour break. That's it, and I'm
Yep.
in it. That's it.
Crazy. I know, like
Man.
going up, I have it the traffic and stuff timed so well. Going up, there is no break. My break is at Augusta, my first store in Maine.
That's where I take my half-hour break.
Exactly.
Because I get there in 7 hours and 47 minutes total.
Yep. That's what I do.
I do the same thing, and I don't go into the whole Boston crap.
I can't
I
stand,
skirt it.
man. Massachusetts drivers suck. They are the
Yeah.
worst.
In Boston?
Yes. I thought Chicago was
I hear
bad,
that
man, but
about New Jersey. I hear that about New Jersey a lot.
See,
yeah,
New Jersey,
they're just dumb.
yeah.
And I
Well,
would say the same. I would say the same about Chicago. Chicago gets crazy.
Yeah, it does.
I'll tell you what though. I would rather take Boston, Jersey, Chicago, any of them over New York. You know what?
Really? It's not bad.
Let me tell you, I'm in New York City right now, and the only time I will come in or leave this city is like between 2 and 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's the best
You
time.
do it any other time,
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Yep.
It's damn near impossible.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why. I went through New York peak time. I went across Brooklyn, Bronx, all the way over to New Jersey, midday. And I tell you, man, that
In the
was
truck?
not fun.
That'll take your whole 10-hour shift right there.
Yeah, yeah, heck yeah.
I went to visit my mom in Long Island, New York, and on my way out, I had to drive that way to head over to Jersey. Man, it was fun.
Yeah, I would rather drive all the way up to the Hudson Expressway up by Albany and around
Now,
than go through the.
do any of you guys? Oh, Atlanta is horrible too. Yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah, it is.
You know, Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta is as crazy. It's just the traffic most of the time.
Right.
To be honest, it's the interchanges in Atlanta that freaking drive me nuts.
Yeah,
The way they design those highways is nuts.
What about? Do you guys go up in Virginia or West Virginia, up in the hills?
I actually just went right through West Virginia, but that's on the tour because we were up in oh, what the heck's the name of that town? Trying to remember. It's up in the very eastern corner because I literally just it was only 300 miles from where I was in Maryland, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Or no, it was only 186 miles from where I was in Maryland. So it wasn't bad. And then I went through West Virginia and through Kentucky to get to New Haven, Kentucky. Those hills are something else.
Man, I don't like West Virginia, the mountains going up there, man. See, Sean said, if I'm ever going up to the Northeast, I take 87 all the way around the
GW Bridge.
GW Bridge, then jump on 95 as soon as you cross into Connecticut.
Yep.
Yeah, if you can avoid the city, avoid it.
Or I'll take 84 to Route 7 in Connecticut, then jump on 95 by exit 17. See, this guy knows he knows that's him. I haven't been up that side in quite a while.
Yeah, see, what I'll do is I'll actually, it depends on where I'm heading in the Northeast, because if I'm headed up to Maine, I won't even go anywhere near New York City. What I'll do is I'll jump on 87 until it turns into 84, and then I'll take 84 all the way up to 90, and then I'll take 90 through Massachusetts, and then go around Boston. I won't go through Boston.
Yeah, you do.
I'll skirt Boston.
I've never been to Boston.
290 to 495. Right
I've
around
never been to Boston. Yeah, I've been to Massachusetts. I don't want to go.
Oh, especially with the tractor trailer.
Julio said to Philadelphia.
Philly's not bad.
Philly's not that bad. No, Philly's not that bad. Philly's okay. I like Philly.
I was born and raised in Philly. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's one of mine. I don't like the Eagles, but I like Philly.
Oh, really? Time to hang up now.
Hey, I'm a Green Bay Packer, man. We lost Aaron Rodgers, so it's going to be quite a while in the dark house for us.
And if you're ever in Philly and want a true cheesesteak, I got a couple places for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roman knows them.
Yeah. Oh, my God. No, I'm a jerk chicken guy, so, but then again, a lot of Jamaicans live in Philly. A lot of Jamaicans live in Philly.
Yeah, you can definitely find some Jamaican food in Philadelphia
that I will actually drive from New York State just to get me a platter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know because I'm from the Midwest, but the first time I went to Philly, I just love the city. I love the city. The city was nice.
Not no more.
Yeah, man.
The residential areas are kind of.
The residential area is where it gets crazy.
Yeah, right now, it's real bad. Certain areas in Philadelphia, cops won't even go to. That's how bad it's gotten.
So, about that Wal-Mart dedicated account, is there any opportunity for you, Ramen, to make over the guaranteed minimum, being that you've been on it for a while?
I never make guarantee. Never.
Oh,
I'm always way above.
Oh, so why do some people make it out like that?
That's why I go to Maine.
Yeah, Even without going to Maine, like they sent me to Jersey a lot, Jersey and Delaware.
Yeah.
One of the favorite spots they would send me is Dover, and I'd get in and out of Jersey and Dover, no problem. So they kept sending me because, like, I'd get down there, get unloaded, and get back to Binghamton in the same shift, and there's drivers that can't do that.
Yep.
So
What are you
I was
running?
making.
What do you got? You got a 2023 Freightliner or International?
I've got a 22
International.
Freightliner now.
You got
I was running a
International.
23 International.
Ramen, you got
International,
International?
yeah, 23. Yep, 23.
I would say at least 2/3 of the drivers are international on that account.
Yeah. Yep.
Do the International give any problem?
All the mountains and the hills, man. That's why. What you say?
Does it give any problems?
No. Nope.
No,
That thing pulls. That thing pulls everything.
I remember you sent me a video when you got that thing. I remember.
Yeah.
Like, hey, check it out. Check it out.
I told my DM, I'm like, well, time for 24 now.
Yeah, I hear they got a lot of Elvis. Did Elvis have a 24?
Yeah, no, he has a 23, but it's the newer electronic APU.
Yeah.
So there's a battery bank up under the catwalk, a massive battery bank.
Yep.
So for you guys on the Middle East, for you guys on the Northeast, where do you go? Which of the terminals to get like your trucks repaired and stuff like that?
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Springfield. Okay.
Yep. Not that far at all.
And usually what they'll do is they'll use a load up to Maine or something like that. So that when you get up to Maine, and then on the way back, you stop there and get your service done.
Yes.
So it sounds like you guys got it all figured out.
Yeah.
I'm happy to know that you guys are doing good, especially, coming from, watching your careers flourish from the first stage up onto getting your own truck and being a part of it all. I must say, man, it's a pleasure to see you guys out there doing your thing. We got winter. We got winter around the corner, though.
So
we already weathered one winter, so
yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man.
I was baptized in winter, so I don't care.
Right?
Yeah, I was the same. I was the same.
Buffalo blizzards.
Yep.
Back to back.
Even Elvis got to drive through them Wyoming winters. He learned real quick.
But at least he had you with him. I got off my trainer's truck in October. So November, December, January, February, March, all of that. It's all by myself, man.
Yeah, Elvis kept telling me all the time he loved working with me because I'm the kind of guy, I got to plan everything. I know the weather before we get there. I know everything. Your trip planning, and this is one of the number one things I tell anybody, is your trip planning is your savior. Because you can have a plan A, B, and C just by knowing up front, okay, I'm going here. I know the weather's going to be like this. If it gets too rough, I can stop here.
Do you guys use 511 for your weather?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yep. Any state.
Any state. Okay.
Yeah.
511weather.com.
Yep.
Someone said, what's the main difference between a 2021 Cascada and a 2022 Cascada?
I don't have one, so I don't know.
The mirror mounts?
From what I've seen with a lot of these trucks, it's just the setting. Like some of them might have more space inside, more compartments. Like
and you can't even. I was going to say you can't even compare a 2021 to a 2021 because each one is unique.
Yeah, yeah. Don said I was out on my own like October just like me. Yeah. When did you get your own truck for the first time, Ramen?
The end of November, I got it.
End of November. So you're coming up on a year.
No, it was the year, July 25th.
Since you got your CDL.
Yeah.
So now, do you? Well, that's probably personal. I was gonna ask if you get like any retention bonus for being over a year, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yep. Like my retention bonus started 2 months ago.
Okay.
I gotta call him and talk to him because I haven't started getting mine.
How is your relationship with the DM?
Oh, they love me.
Nice.
They love me. I turned down no loads ever.
Yeah. Are you still company?
Yep.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. If you become the reliable source for your DM, they
Yep.
are going to bend over backwards to make sure you're happy
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
you make their job easy.
Yes. Yes.
The problem that I find sometimes is you will have a DM and you guys get along so good, and then they leave either the company or they leave the account, and you get another DM, and sometimes trying to rebuild that relationship can be, let's just put it nicely and say tricky. Because
Well,
yeah,
we have 4 DMs, and I'm cool with all of them.
oh nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought it was really cool. Is all 4 of them called me and wished me my happy anniversary, even though I was pulled off of that account and I was already on the Extreme account. They still called me.
Yep.
That's dope.
I thought that was awesome. I was like,
The thing that I like with my account being on a regional dedicated is when your dispatcher calls you by name. Working with Prime Inc., it used to be like, hey, what's your truck number? That's the first thing, you know. I'm like, well, they had fleet manager, so it was like, I don't know if they have too many drivers on their fleet.
Right.
But I kid you not, I would have a problem. And before I could get done saying what the problem is, they'll be like, bam, 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 okay. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. You know, like, yeah, that's it.
Right, and then see, and that's one of the things I do love about Hirschbach is every DM I've had throughout the entire time. When I started out solo, my DM knew me by name. He call on me, check on me, see how things are going.
Yep.
Switched over to the Lactalis account. Both my DMs there, absolutely loved them. Came over to the Wal-Mart account. All 4 DMs, they're phenomenal. So, and it's a lot of people like I've been telling a lot of people, do your research. I did 4 years of research before I ever even picked Hirschbach, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it is because every driver I talked to made it seem like family.
Right.
So, I mean, and it doesn't matter what, like, you got to pick what's best for you as a driver and what your goals are for your family.
Yep.
So the biggest thing for me is pick what is good for you, but do your research regardless, because you want to walk in to what you're going to be doing well prepared.
Yep. I just saw Don dapping you guys up, saying you guys weren't difficult in training either, though. So that's good. That's good. I would say this. I got a question for both of you. I'll start with Ramin. What would you say was the most difficult thing making the transition into trucking from a regular 9-to-5 job? And then I'll go to Chris.
My old job was I used to drive limousines, so it wasn't no big deal transition to me.
Okay. In terms of the truck stop life, the rest area, the shipper, receiver, the whole lifestyle. What was?
That took a little while because it's a lonely business. You used to be home with your family at night, but going trucking you can't, and you got to adjust to that.
How about you, Chris? What would you say?
That is the biggest transition, even though, like I said, I have previous experience being away from the family and stuff. Coming into this industry, it still was a little bit of an adjustment. And if you do have a lot, if you have family at home, the biggest thing I could say is keep that communication open. Try to talk to them every day if you can.
Yep.
Let them know that you're still there with them in spirit, because they're not going to see a lot of you.
Yeah. Yep. And I think one of the key things I used to say is home doesn't stop because you are out on the road.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that makes the job a bit tricky. You can't handle it all over the phone. You try your best, but especially that first 8 to 10 or 12 weeks in training or whatever, your family is not used to you being gone that long. So for me, I would say one of the biggest challenge transitioning was the mental aspect of it. Trucking gets the mental aspect of trucking. It's something else, man. I tell you,
Yeah.
because you have so much time with you and your mind, and I'm already crazy. So you're driving down the road. It's just you, the road, and these white lines. And I've come from a third world country. I've come from such humble beginnings. I've achieved. I guess I don't think about how much I've achieved or how far I've come until I came into trucking, and I have time to think about what I want to think about, what I don't want to think about,
Right.
and
Yep.
you know what I mean. It was quite the adjustment. But I must say, I like the freedom of you give me a load, you tell me where it's supposed to be, what time it's supposed to be there, and I
Yep.
will get it there on time without
Yes, sir.
the regular 9 to 5 where your boss will come to your little your small cubicle or
Micromanaging.
your area like 5 or 10
Mhm.
times, and yeah, the responsibility too. Being a truck driver, you are responsible for your life. You're responsible for the life of others around you. Um,
Yep.
you're talking about what? 74 feet truck and tractor trailer,
Yep.
80,000 pounds on
8,000
any
pounds.
given
Yep.
day. So it's some serious, you know what? But yeah,
You got
it
those
was
dummies that speed around you, just to get in front of you and slam their brakes on. I'm like, for what?
another thing that was hard for me too is, so I'm from Jamaica where you run into somebody, hey, good morning, how are you? So I would show up at a shipper or a receiver. This is my little thing here. I walk in, hey, how's it going? And I get your paperwork, sir. What the hell? What did I do?
Some
You
of those
know,
people regret their life choices.
some of these people that work at some of these factories and some of these shippers and receivers, it's like, I don't know if it's a stigmatism around truck drivers or what, but you'll
Right.
find some good ones that will. And I mean, I'm not trying to like make friends, but you know, you drive 500-600 miles with this load to get it somewhere, and
Yep.
sometimes you're not greeted with a warm or a friendly welcome.
Yep.
That's why I love having my CB installed in my truck, because
Yeah.
I just key up and I could find somebody almost anywhere that's willing to talk, because like you
On
said,
the
it's
East
a
Coast.
lonely oh yeah, all over.
Yeah,
Not up here. Not up here. They would not respond.
Don said it wasn't much difficult. It wasn't much different for me.
Yeah.
Someone said, I don't. Oh, this is Sean. I don't know what it feels like. Dry van customers are more friendly than reefer.
Well, yeah, because they're cold. They frozen.
Man, they ain't got no time to waste. They're trying to get home. I agree. Most of the, because I do dry van now, so most of the time I'm traveling with car parts.
Mhm.
As he was saying, loads of like scraps of paper or you know some farm equipment or something. So you go somewhere, it's usually someone with a forklift, 30 minutes or so, and you know you're good to go. And they're pretty nice, you know. They're pretty nice. But I tell people all the time because people watch other truckers and they hear all these figures being thrown out there. Hey, you can make this, you can make that. But I tell them the transition into the industry is not as easy
Right.
as it is for some people. And that's why a lot of people quit early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to tell people, and I joke about it, but to be honest, it's kind of the truth. The way I feel is you either got to have gypsy blood or Viking blood, because you have to have that desire to travel, that desire to be by yourself. You know, you have to be in that mindset. You got to enjoy it. And if you don't, this is definitely going to be the wrong industry.
Yep.
Because
I mean, I don't understand how guys can accept that guaranteed pay. That's not enough.
No, you gotta no, and this is the big thing in trucking. You ready for it? If you want to make money in trucking, you gotta drive the truck.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know where people get this idea from. Like, You got to drive the truck. Now, see, this is the guy. Sean said, last week I had a Red Bull load, 44K. I don't know if he's messing around or not, but that sounds crazy.
Oh no, he's not messing around because when I hauled for Lactalis, they loaded me right up to 45,000.
Wow. Most of my loads are 43,000 pounds. 42 probably. But other than that, it's lighter. Lighter.
I had an entire load of water that they loaded me up, and I was 45,000 dead on. That was something else. That you could feel that load difference.
Yep. Don said, "I'm a gypsy at heart."
Yeah.
But wasn't
That's why I
it
joke
you?
about it, but it's true.
Wasn't it you, Chris, that Hirschbach gave that load that was overload, and you had to stop at a truck stop, and they had to send someone out, or you had to go back to the shipper?
Yeah, so what happened was they sent me out a load out of Chicago. And it wasn't that it was overloaded completely. What happened was they put a heavy load all on the nose of the trailer. So there was no way I could get it balanced. So I couldn't get the weight off of my drive axles. I was 10,000 pounds over on my drive axles because they put a load of sugar at the nose of the trailer. And that stuff's heavy.
Yep.
So they sent me somewhere to be basically redistributed across my trailer.
So I got a question for you, and I'll start with Ramen because this is the tricky one. What is your rule of thumb when you want to slide your tandems for weight distribution? Let's see how you do it.
My tandems don't move.
Your tandems don't move.
No reason to.
Why? Why, if you don't mind me
Walmart-
asking?
Walmart has their system set up so that everything is already balanced already. You can pull up to your trailer.
Mm-hmm. So it usually stays right in the
already
sixth
done.
hole.
It's already done.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah. Walmart's freaking, they're spot on with their stuff.
Yeah, they are.
They don't
They
mess
really
around.
are.
So that's why I've never seen a Walmart truck inside of a scale, because the troopers, they probably already know too.
Yep.
Like I've scaled a couple of them just to test the theory. They are dead on.
Yep.
But
what is your theory, Chris? What is your theory? Like when you were on well, let's say you were on the Lactalis account.
Okay, so with the Lactalis account, basically what I would do is I would quickly look at the trailer, see how it's loaded. Lactalis is pretty darn good about it too. Only once did I have to have them rework the load. And that was just a quick, hey, move these 4 pallets around so that way it moves the weight differently. But so basically what happened was with Lactalis, they're pretty good. It's pretty easy to, once you get used to the system, you know, okay, Lactalis loaded me to 42. I got to go to this hole, or they loaded to 43,000. Okay, you got to go to this hole. You know, you get used to it how they load, but they're pretty spot on with their system too when they load, because with them you have to slide the tandems all the way back. So when you pull up to that dock door, your tandems are all the way back by those doors. So when
I guess the question I'm asking, let me ask it this way. If you are over by 1,200 pounds on your trailer, how many holes do you move and how do you decide that?
So basically how I do it is between 400 to 450 pounds per hole is typically moved. So I would move it 3 to 4 holes depending on where the weight was at. If it was really close, I'd probably move it 3. If it was way over, again, it depended on how the trailer was loaded too, because if they center the load, you're okay with moving it to 3 holes. If it's, you know, if it's more towards the back of the truck, you might not want to move it that way, because it really depends on where that weight is sitting. But typically the average was about 400 to 450 pounds per hole is what I could move.
And you, the same for you, Ramen?
Yeah, doing OTR, yes, I was.
450? 4?
Yep.
I always say 354. Never go to 450. But I guess it's still not that much off, because if you're over by 100 pounds, It's
Well,
probably
it depends on what you're hauling, to be honest.
yeah.
Because different things you can get away with different weights. Because when I'm hauling water, that's a whole different
Water
weight
or
system.
beer. I used to
Yeah.
haul beer for Wisconsin for Hirschbach out of Milwaukee.
Really?
And that's the other thing too that I can recommend for the new drivers. If you're hauling liquid, stop early. Start slowing down early because that liquid will push you.
That surge will push you, even though you're not driving a tanker. It will push you.
Oh yeah.
It's the same principle.
Yep, pretty much. And it's the same when you're going uphill. It's pulling you down.
Yep.
It's pulling you down. That's why when I used to do OTR, man, that's why I asked you guys earlier about Virginia, West Virginia. Not a lot of fun.
No.
Kentucky, to be honest, Kentucky I felt was worse than West Virginia.
Even Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania have some back roads too that are.
Yes, they do.
You
Lord.
could run into 9%, even 10% grades back there.
Up and down, up and down.
Oh man. I
And your
remember
truck
there was this spot. There was this place in Pennsylvania. I had to slow all the way to a complete stop at the top, put my engine gear in 3, and put my 4-way flashers on.
Yep.
And I think everyone in that area knows, okay, it's going to be a while. We're not going around this truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. It is what it is, and this is what's going to happen.
And you'll still be doing 50 by the end of it.
My goal is to make it to the bottom of this hill safe and alive.
Yep.
If you want to go around me now, you're free. But hey, Pennsylvania, Utah, woo, Salt Lake. Oh man.
See, Salt Lake wasn't that bad for me.
No, it depends on where you are.
We typically went through Devil's Slide.
Woo. Is that where there is
55 mile per hour curves.
This is before you get to Salt Lake. It's like 10 miles, 6% grade.
Are you still on 80 at that point?
Yep.
Yeah. See, we always turned up onto 84 as you're coming down into Salt Lake.
Okay.
And then we would go up Devil's Slide, and that's 55 mile per hour curves, and I recommend doing 50.
I don't play. No matter how many years I'm driving. Arizona, Flagstaff, Arizona. It's the same thing.
Now, see, one of the ones that like had me puckering up was Cabbage Patch going into California.
What? Is that in Oregon? No?
Cabbage Patch down into California.
Or Dono Pass. Are you talking Dono Pass?
Yeah.
Dono
It's called
Pass.
the Cabbage Patch because it spirals down and in.
That's in Idaho. What state? You're talking in Cali?
As you're coming down into Cali out of Utah, Idaho area.
Because I've heard about that cabbage. I've never been on it. I don't think I've ever been on it.
Yeah, it's a 8% downgrade in a spiral.
Is it Oregon? You said I've heard about cabbage. I've heard about it. I've never been on it.
Yeah, that one will make you pucker up.
Yeah, I've heard about cabbage, man. Have you been on it, Chris?
Yeah, we were on it once. And let me tell you,
pair of boxers nearby.
Pretty much. I had to actually do something similar to what you did. I slowed the truck right down to like 5 miles an hour, put third gear on. By the bottom of that thing, I was still doing 60. And that was with tapping my brakes and everything. Was
there anybody flying around you?
Oh, yeah. It scared the crap out of me. Trucks were going by 85, 90 miles per hour. I'm like, how?
How could they not? How could they not? Super truckers. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, oh, yeah, I do this every day.
Oh,
it only takes once. Ahead. That's all it takes. It only takes once.
You can go down the hill too slow 1,000 times.
Yep.
But if you go down too fast one time,
the
show is over. Yep. I always joke with Julio. I don't know if he's still on here. I said all the fans, they leave the stadium. They get up from in front of the TV, they turn the TV off because the game is over.
Yeah, see me, how I judge a hill and know what I really got to pay attention for is if I see one that says runaway truck ramp, I don't joke with that thing. I will keep that thing 20, 30 miles an hour because...
Oh, they're in Colorado too. Yeah, out in Colorado, and I think it's 77.
Yeah, over here in the East Coast, we got a lot of them that are runaway. Every 1 mile, you got a runaway truck ramp.
Going toward Maine, you got one in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can take some nice little grades, but whenever I see 10% for like 6 or 7 miles, that's when you know you get me. I slow down at the top.
Yep.
I put my engine brake on. I put my 4-way flashers on.
I don't even mess around with 5%. I'll slow down, and so if it takes me, if the truck slows me down to 35 going up that hill at 5%, I'll go 35 going down it. I don't mess around. Some of these drivers, you see them fly right by, and it's like, go do you, man.
Care.
Absolutely, man.
And may your guardian angel fly as fast as you can drive.
Yep.
And then you see them down the road, either on the side or somewhere.
Brake smoking.
Smoking, yeah. Yep. I've seen it. Up there in Utah, I've seen it in Arizona. Have you guys ever been through Flagstaff, Arizona?
No.
Huh. No, when I was over the road, I went down to Arizona once, and I wasn't down in Flagstaff. I was right up on the north part of Arizona.
Flagstaff, man, no matter what time of the winter, it's always snow, ice. It's crazy down there. 6% grade. I think it's 6% grade for like, I want to say 8 miles or something like that, but no fun.
How about that one you took me on during training?
Is that in, which one of them?
The 8% one we were on for like freaking 5 or 6 miles.
I'm trying to remember where that was.
As we were coming out of Wisconsin somewhere.
Oh, it wasn't. I don't think it was 8. Probably about 5 miles. It's a little. That's a baby compared to what you're dealing with now. Yeah, that's nothing compared to what you're dealing with now.
Oh, I know. I was just saying, like, it's even though it's a short distance, it's still nothing to joke with.
I don't play. Because I always try to take like my students to get a little bit of training on the hill as much as I can, because especially when I know they're going over the road, you're not gonna see the grades out here that you would see, let's say, in a Colorado or Utah, or even in the Northeast in Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So still try to give them some form of practice on it,
Yeah, because I remember you having me drive up the mountain, down the mountain, up the mountain.
Yep. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And I'm sitting right here. I might be worried, but I'm not letting you know I'm worried for this. Man, I had a guy went through a work. Was it? I don't think it was you. No, it was a Jamaican guy. Not gonna call his name, that I trained. We're going through a work zone. You know how sometimes when the road curves in the work zone, it has like a little dip.
Your angle, yeah.
Especially if it's on the shoulder, and that thing goes.
Yeah, Julio is still here. He took that turn so fast with the truck, but when the trailer went through it, that thing went.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
I saw his life left him and come back. I tell you, we went through that same spot about 10 more times in training, and every time he slowed all the way down. I said, you learn your lesson. Yep, I don't have to tell you again.
Oh, I'll tell you, I came over to the GW and they got freaking construction going on, and they put you right to the wall on that thing.
Have any of you ever been on 29 heading down to Missouri, Kansas City, going from Iowa?
I did that quite a few times.
I'm wondering if you did that with me, Chris. I don't know if you were with me when I was on. Were you with me when I was on?
Remember we had to go to Kansas City for something?
Yep.
Yeah, when we went to Kansas City, we did that, and then we came back up north after Kansas City.
No bueno, no good. I would say, man. Oh, we've been rocking for an hour 45. Man, thank you guys for joining. I'm not even gonna hold you up too long, but thank you for hopping on. And hopefully, if you guys ever have time, man, and you see me drop a live stream, feel free to drop in and say hi because I don't do a lot of videos, but sometimes I want to stop in, check in, see how everyone is
Right.
doing.
Right.
Wish you all success in your careers, and we're here for each other, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's definitely nice to put that information out there for the new guys too. It's
Yeah.
I love that you do that.
Met Dawn. I think I met Dawn at Kansas City too. I think so, because she says she's from Wisconsin. If I remember, it should be close to La Crosse or La Crescent. She's from.
Yeah, she's up in LaCroix.
If she
La
knows,
Crosse.
if she's from up that area, I'll tell her where I think you're talking. It's when you're coming down on 90 heading into Wisconsin from Minnesota. When you get to
No,
exit
it was when we went out of Wisconsin into not Iowa, but the above. It was as we were heading west out of Wisconsin.
Okay, that sounds more like it because I'm trying to. When you say that, I'm trying to think like which of
Because I
those.
remember we picked up in northern Wisconsin, and we had to go bring it over to
Nebraska.
yeah,
Were we going to Nebraska?
yeah. And it was as you're coming out of the north side of Wisconsin, not on 90, but it's on the it was on one of those back highways. We weren't on a major highway. Like it was a state highway.
Man, I'm losing my touch. I've been down here for too long. For me, it's just Wisconsin to Michigan, Michigan to Minnesota mostly, and then pretty much the same all around again. But man, oh man,
Because we went across 90, and then we got off on 90 over by I want to say it was Albert Lee, and then we went off one of those back highways.
Okay.
And I don't remember exactly where that was because I think we came out of
Freeze.
Where?
Did Chris freeze?
Oh yeah, he froze. They probably the band is probably coming to get him.
No, I was out of focus.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So it was when we came out of oh God, where was that? It was that plant. It was that one plant that we kept going to way up in northern Wisconsin, where you parked me at the Loves all the time.
Where what?
Where you parked me at that Loves up in northern Wisconsin all the time.
Northern Wisconsin.
That plant that's up there that we did.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but I've also had like 5 or 6.
We came out of Wisconsin into Minnesota or into Minnesota. And it wasn't on 90, it was one of those other highways because we were getting to 90. We were heading southwest on one of those highways.
I don't know, probably slipped me. But I've had like 6 students since you, so that probably explains it.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where it was, but I know it wasn't a major highway.
Someone said, was it by the Twin Cities? I doubt it because there isn't any grades by the Twin Cities.
No. It was north of Twin Cities. It was north of St. Cloud.
North of St. Cloud. Must be one of those runs.
Yeah, it was one of the meat plants up there. We had to go up there, grab an empty trailer, and then we went all the way to freaking Nebraska for a load.
Was that one of our first loads? No? Man, I've had so many experiences. I don't know.
It was in our second week.
But we were still on that Wyndham account.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think I can pick up where you're talking.
No. Actually, it was right as they kicked you off of that account. That was our first OTR load.
Because we were doing some OTR loads.
Yeah. And then we went into, right after that load, we went into running trailers from St. Cloud and
To
up and down, up and down.
Kenosha to St. Cloud. Now it's coming back. See, my craziness is wearing off a little bit. It's a lot, man.
Yeah, it was the first OTR load we did that it went out of Wisconsin heading towards
I think
Nebraska.
we went to Indiana. Me and you went down to Indiana too. Down to
Yeah,
Indianapolis.
because we hit Nebraska first, and then from Nebraska to Indianapolis.
And I went to the gym. I went to the gym in Indianapolis down there. You went for a walk. I'm like seeing it right now. Yeah. I don't play with those hills, man. West Virginia too, man. That's the load. But there's always some guys flying right by you. Someone said, is it good to lease that Hirschback now? What do you guys think?
I think the whole trucking economy right now is probably too slow to start a lease. If you already have a lease, great. But if you're going to start a lease, expect to get really low paychecks.
Yep.
Once it starts picking up again, that would probably be a better time to jump into leasing if you're going to. I would wait until the economy starts picking up for trucks right now, because we're still really low with, like, sometimes if you're not on a dedicated account, sometimes it's hard to find loads. Because even when I was on the Lactalis account, they were having trouble finding loads for us.
And as a lease operator, sitting is not, let's just say it's not your best friend. You do not want to sit.
Right. I mean, if you lease and you get onto a dedicated account that leases, you might be okay.
I doubt it. I don't think leasing on a dedicated account is good.
Well,
No,
like, so
good.
I know
what they're right now on our account, and I'm getting paid more than they're making.
Say that again.
It's guys on my account that are leasing, and I'm making more money than they're making.
Exactly, because even if they're making over the minimum, let's say, they still got to take a truck payment out of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Maintenance costs. Sometimes they put aside money in an escrow for you for like any emergency, stuff like that. So fuel cost, even though they have the 99 cent per gallon. So that's why I didn't lease.
Right, and that's why I say right now the market is not set for leasing. If you already started leasing,
but Hirschback, the thing with Hirschback is they're not paying you a percentage of the load; they're paying you on a per diem,
correct,
like a sliding scale, I think, for their lease operators.
Right. So, like, I know a husband and wife that were lease operators on the Lactalis account, and they were doing okay because they were a husband and wife team. If you're buying that truck with somebody, then you still only have $800 and you're bringing in, team pay. That's a whole different story.
Exactly.
Is Julio still with Walmart?
Yeah, Julio's still with Walmart, I believe.
I
think he said that earlier.
I think I saw him last week.
Did you meet him? Did you get to see Julio on the Walmart?
Yeah. When he first started, I met him.
Okay.
I believe I saw him last week, but I was so tired, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never see you on the road, man. I could never see you.
Yeah. See, I hardly ever saw any drivers there because I spent less than 20 minutes on the lot.
Yep.
I'd go in, I'd grab my trailer, and I'm gone.
That's how I was.
Yeah, that's me. I don't spend a lot of time at the terminals. Even down there in East Dubuque, when I go there, it's whatever I need to get done, I'm in and I'm out. Now, if I see a few drivers, they're going to say, hey, you're the guy from YouTube. I get that a lot. So I can't escape it. So, but I try to, talk a little bit, but then I'm out.
Right.
And see, that's the thing, though, is if you're spending an hour on the lot talking and doing whatever, that's time off your clock because you had to start your clock to get on that lot.
Yep.
So
Yeah, if I get there and
I'm
my
in,
truck
I'm
is in
out,
the
I'm
shop,
gone.
if I get there and my truck is in the shop, I rather jump on that treadmill. You know, they have a small little gym like right in there. I'll
Right.
knock a workout out, I'll run in, grab a shower, and if my truck is ready, I'm out, man.
I haven't seen that terminal since they shut the school down though. So somebody said they moved a lot of stuff around again.
But you guys are on the Northeast, so yeah, you don't need to come to East Dubuque.
Great.
Nah.
I'm actually going to be in Dubuque on the 10th or 11th this coming month because I'm in Maine on the 5th, and then I go from Maine to Dubuque. I'm going to be at the Q Casino.
You understand that if somebody wanted to know who you really with, all we gotta do is follow the dates. You know that, right?
I think he's got Luke Bryan or something, but he don't want to tell us.
No, I'm on a solo truck tour.
Oh.
It's just me out here. If I was
Okay.
Luke Bryan, there'd be like 8 of us.
Yeah.
I know three guys from my account that they're not here because it's concert season.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elvis is still on that Wal-Mart account. Julio
Yeah,
is still on
he's
there.
doing pretty
Elvis
good.
is?
Elvis is over
He's
there.
a Jamaican guy that I trained. I also brought him to the company.
I might have seen him before.
Probably did. He hangs out at that Loves a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, whenever I call him, he's at the Loves or something, or he's rolling.
Yeah, he was my teammate, and we both went to the Walmart account at the same time. So he started about 3.5 weeks ago.
Okay. I know some new guys there. I haven't really. I spotted them, but I haven't really talked to them.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got a 23 international silver. So
Okay.
you'll see him.
What is Julio driving?
I think that's my song. I think it was a black Freightliner. I think.
Oh, the black one. Cool dude. Cool dude.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, I think he lives in Pennsylvania. I think.
Yeah. Not
So he's
that
close
far
to,
away. Maybe like an
close to
hour
the,
away. I think it is.
I saw him driving home when I left that account because they sent me down to Pennsylvania to pick up an empty trailer.
Mhm.
To go get a load out of Batavia, and then I was coming back up 81, and he was headed south into
Oh
PA
yeah.
to go home because he
Yeah.
was bobtail.
I have a guy who is always on the channel too. He's on the Armada account, and he said that account is no good, no bueno.
What, the Armada account?
Armada out of Rochester.
The Armada, he lives in Connecticut, and he's trying to get on the Walmart account, but they won't let him. This
He's too
guy
far away.
actually let Henry is his name.
Yeah, he's too far
Yeah,
away.
he's too far away because you got to be within what is it,
I think it's
100
an hour
miles?
and a half. I think it is now, like 100 miles.
Yeah,
I feel for him because he left solo company and went to be leased to try to see if he could make more money. And he was making less money being a lease operator over the road that he left the lease and went back solo company driver on the Armada account. And the Armada account, the minimum is $12.50.
yeah, that's got to be the one out of Rochester because that's the one that I was gonna be on.
So
and then
was
they
I.
filled it all up. They filled it all up, and then I went teaming because I was like, well, I got to get something that has a dedicated pay.
Right.
And that was right before they offered the Walmart account. Because right after I got in the truck with Elvis, that's when they opened up the Walmart account. I was like, man.
Yeah, that account opened up right around the time when Rahman was getting his truck, I think.
Yep. January 9th.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
I've been since day one.
They better not play around. They better come correct.
Got that right.
And they've expanded that account a lot though, because originally it was only so many trucks, and now it's growing because they just added like 14 trucks.
Yep. Then we got like 44
really?
drivers now, I think.
Yeah.
So
me and Elvis.
I still need more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the account is crowded or?
Not for me.
Oh no, they're believe me, the there isn't a day that they don't have a load when I was on that account.
Got that
I
right.
was running every day that I was out. I ran, and then I ran 2 weeks
Yep.
straight. I didn't take time off, and I made over $2,000 that week.
Oh, so if you don't want to go home, you can tell them, hey, I don't want no home time this week.
Yeah,
They'll kick you
yeah.
out.
Yeah, but you don't bank your home time though. You give it up.
Yep.
That's what's up.
And I can't say that they'll always have a load for you, but typically if they know far enough in advance that you're not going home for that week, they'll have something for you. They'll keep you busy. Even if they turn you into a recovery driver, hey, we need this trailer picked up. Go get it.
Yeah.
So they'll find something for you.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Look at that. We hit the 2-hour mark. Wait, thank you guys. I don't know. Man, I don't know. I don't think I could have done it without you. I hope we brought some value to someone who want to learn about the industry or, just listen to the lifestyle of truckers and what we go through out here and what we have to do on a day-to-day. It's not easy, man.
And to make money, you got to drive. Like you said, you got to drive those miles.
If you want to make money, you got to drive that truck. And sometimes you just have to be patient in this industry because even at Hirschbach, I wouldn't have lasted as long as I did there if I didn't have patience.
Right.
When I just got there was that problem with the recruiter who told me some BS about the sign-on bonus. He lied, basically.
Always get it in writing.
Yep.
When I get my first truck, they gave me a 2020. That truck broke down 3 times in 3 weeks. I told that story. the third time the truck broke down, they gave me my 2022. Hey, this is a rental truck. I said to my DM at the time, hey, I'm not getting out this truck.
Yeah, see, they gave me a truck, and I was out there for like a week, I think it was. And then my alternator went.
Yeah. I think they give you a bad truck for the first 2 months to see how you manage it.
Yeah.
What about Ramen? Did you get something that was shaking or something like that first?
I had a 20 International piece of crap.
All right.
And I think I had a regen problem 2 times within a week and a half. Told my DM up here in Wal-Mart, I'm like, yo, give me a new truck. The next day he was like, all right, you want a Dubuque.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Was the problem that when you went over a certain, like when you went over 55, it was shaking or something?
No, it just it went inside limp mode. Limp mode all the time. Huh?
What was going to
limp mode. Limp mode. Only certain speed you can go to.
Okay. See, my truck, there was moisture in the brake chamber. I had a guy come out on the side of the road, change the brake chamber, gave me a new one. I'm like, okay, my first week with the company.
Right.
Next week, I'm driving down the road. A red engine light came on. I said, pull over. I got to pull over on the side of the road. I called road assist. They're like, yeah, you did the right thing. I said, I know. So they got me a hotel, sent me a tow truck, picked me up. When I got to the hotel, they said, hey, we have a loaner truck at East Dubuque. You can go pick up. And that's when I went there. I got the 2022. It barely had 10,000 miles on it. I'm like, yeah, this is it. Nice, fresh, no problem. Until one of my trainees, I don't know what the guy was doing, but the clutch burned out because they have a built-in clutch.
Right.
Because it's an automatic, but it still has a clutch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just built in. And we had to do a clutch replacement. That was a show because when I put my truck in to get repaired, they got us a Penske truck because they apparently didn't have any truck at East Dubuque. This Penske truck did not have an APU, did not have a refrigerator, did nothing. I had a trainee. Every night I had to get a hotel room because I told them I don't want to ruin this guy experience with the company,
Right. Right.
After about a week or so, I'm like, all right, I can't have a trainee sleeping at a different hotel room for 2 weeks. So we got a rental car. I had to take him home. And then about a week after my truck got ready, and that's the only problem it really gave me. Until in the last part, I don't know if you guys have ever seen something come on your truck that said ECAS. But your truck doesn't give problems. So I think, I want to say it's electronic circulating air system, but I might be wrong.
Right.
But I had that problem in the last half with it. But otherwise, the truck went through the whole winter, did pretty good. But when you just start with the company, I think your first week or your first month, they give you a crap truck.
Just the first 3 months, supposedly.
Just to see how you're going to handle it.
I got my truck, man. It had 600 miles on it when I got it. Brand new. Yeah. And now it has 71,300 miles on it.
Yeah, see, my first truck, once I got past that alternator issue, that lasted us all the way until my teammate hit a deer with it and took out the forward-facing radar.
Yeah.
and then the shop put a Freightliner radar on an international truck, fried the ECU. So it had to go to the freaking dealership to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we got a new truck.
Yeah. I think the guys in the shop, they did something wrong, right? They reprogrammed something messed up. What happened again?
They put a Freightliner forward-facing radar on an international, and it fried the ECU.
What a nice job.
Yeah, you know.
What a nice job. Man, thank you guys again.
Those radars, I was going to say, those radars are programmed specifically for those trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And when they put the wrong one on, apparently it short-circuited something and fried the ECU completely.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
We had to be towed.
I'm thinking, that's crazy. Is this the same radar that picks up something on the speed limit?
Yeah, it picks up
signs, everything, right?
Okay, so
the distance between the truck in front of you, if you're going too fast.
Yeah, the camera is what picks up the actual speed limits, but the radar detects the forward collision. Yeah. So it lets you know if there's a vehicle or whatever, anything in front of you. It also detects if you are possibly going to collide with a bridge.
Oh, that's the one. That's okay. So when that get covered in snow and ice, you see that thing pops up on your screen telling you
radar unavailable, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to go out there and knock it off.
Yep.
Which I only had happen once this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were driving through a pretty wicked snowstorm in Nevada. It cracked our windshield. We had hail and everything. The hail chunks cracked our windshield. Messed up our radar. Yeah, it was pretty bad going through there. And if you ever get loads going through Nevada, make sure you have a CB. Because if you break down, you got no cell signal.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be running across 80 across Wyoming and Nebraska, you better have a CB out there. Period.
Yeah. I got a scanner built in too, which makes it nice. Dawn, I do not have your number, I don't think. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. Froze up for a second. I do not believe I have your number, Dawn. Let me double check. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I used to run across Wyoming, Nebraska, go up Donna Pass into California, Nevada, Reno, all of that, man. I can tell you. That's where I did my first winter. Did you get any of that OTR, Ramen?
My main snow stuff happened up here on the East Coast, like in Buffalo. All three of their storms, I was there.
Yeah, I was stuck for 4 days in Buffalo for one of those storms.
Yep.
We were twice once, and then 2 days for one storm and 4 days for another.
Yeah, because I think you guys sent me a video of snow coming all the way up to the step by your door.
It's crazy.
Yeah, y'all can keep that. I live in Wisconsin. I get enough. I get enough. I was running between. I will tell you, out there in North Dakota, man, we got snowstorm too, where we had to pull off the road because they shut down the whole interstate.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Hey Don, if you still have my number, go ahead and text me, and I'll save it.
Don said Donner Pass sucks in the winter. Yeah, absolutely. No fun. You have to.
Is Dawn,
This is what.
go ahead.
Go ahead,
Is Dawn still driving at all?
Don. I don't know who she's driving for now, but I know she said she's no longer at Hirschbach. But out there in Donner Pass, you have to chain up in the wintertime coming down those hills.
Right.
Yeah,
And you have state troopers out there. The chain laws are up. I don't miss being out west. I don't. I tell you. Out here in the Midwest, you know, you'll get the snow, but out there you have the hills.
Right.
Out there you have the hills. Colorado, the same. I don't miss it. Like I'll be running. I just come past like La Crosse, Eau Claire. What's the one called Chippewa Falls? Like Wisconsin Dells, going on to Madison, Wisconsin. Anywhere going up into Minnesota, like those areas in the wintertime, it's doable. And I noticed in Minnesota and Wisconsin, they clean their roads a lot faster.
Right.
They're pretty much better. They're pretty much better at cleaning their roads. So I do not miss out west. The first time I went through Colorado in the wintertime, I was like, okay, I'm not coming back out here. Man, you see all those lights flashing. What's it say? Chain law is in effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a fan of chaining up. If I got to chain up, it means it's time to get off the road.
Right,
you know?
right.
Especially if I'm training students, I'm going to train them the safe way. I'm not going to tell them, hey, try to like, this is why I asked you guys about 511, because that gives you a lot of information in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And usually it's pretty precise too, you know? So.
Yep.
Dawn said she's applying at Ace Hardware. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that's probably in Wisconsin. Probably sounds local. But yeah, if you have your CDL, you might as well use it, you know.
Got that right.
Yeah, I was talking earlier about a factory job that I got when I left Hirschbach. I told myself I'm taking a break from the trucking industry. Man, it was one button that works a machine. I had to stand there for 8 hours and I pressed this button and I watch the machine. It moves. It picks up some parts. It drops it off, come back, load. I press the button again. It moves. Oh my God. I kid you not, between my 8-hour shift, I probably looked at the clock about 800 times before my shift was done, wondering when am I getting out of here? And then after trucking for 2 years or so, your knees does not react to the same to standing for 8 hours at the same position.
Yep.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I work out a lot. I can get on the treadmill. I can run. I can lift my weights. I can do whatever. But just standing in one location for that long period of time, it's boring. So before you know it, I had the keys to another Freightliner. So, Don said we have a distribution center here it's on French Island. I've never been to French Island. Every time I drive past La Crosse, I wonder what it's all about. I need to visit it because I go to La Crosse a lot. Chris, I don't see your number in my contacts. Okay. Well, I think I'm all caught up with the chat. Hope you guys click that like button. Help out the YouTube algorithm. If you're new, I just found out that 40% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. So if you're on here and you're not subscribed, click that. Go ahead, click that subscribe button. I'm gonna start doing some more videos and be more active again. But as I said, driving driver, and I don't have a lot of time as I would when I was doing that reefer. So let's see. I don't know if you guys, if Dawn want to drop her email, or Chris, you can email her or whatever. You guys email each other, stay in contact. My email is on my videos. Feel free to shoot me an email too. And I can send you the number. I know Chris not gonna put his number on here, so I have Ramen number. I have Chris number. So, well, you guys stay safe out there. Let me drop my email in the chat. Let's see. I mean, I always put them on my video and stuff too. Well, it's good to see you guys are loving life at Hirschback, man. I don't know what the future holds, if I'll ever be back. But
come on back to your dark side.
Come on back to the dark side. I talked to a recruiter today, and we had a nice fun chat. A friend of mine, actually, he used to recruit new drivers, but now he's on the other section where he only recruits experienced drivers.
Yeah.
Especially since they're not doing the school that much. So
that's a new thing now. Got the experience.
Yep. That's Chris' email right there, Twisted Chaos. Well, get some sleep, Ramen, man. Get your rest. I'm gonna knock out about 8 hours here and get up in the morning. And right now I am in, where is this? This is Black River Falls, Wisconsin. So I'm gonna head up to St. Cloud tomorrow. Knock that out. You guys
stay safe.
Huh?
So y'all stay safe.
Yeah, you guys stay safe out there. Thank you for hopping on. As I always say, I hope you're doing great wherever you are, whenever you are.
Watching this video.
Watching this video, man. Good to see you, Ramen, man. Stay safe.
Good to see you guys.
We'll talk. Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye, Don. Bye, Sean. The whole gang. Everybody. I hope I didn't left anybody out. Julio. Who else was messaging a lot? Earlier it was, let me see. They're probably out of here by now too. Hey, everyone, stay safe, man. See y'all soon. Peace.
All right, peace.
Bye.